Alrighty, what's up everybody? Peter Gilmore here, once again. Second video of the night. This time on the Peter Gilmore YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you all for watching. And as always, make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you don't miss out on any one of my videos. Because if you do, you miss out on a lot. That's it. Alright. On this late Thursday night, it is time for your late and out-of-date AEW Dynamite review for February the 19th, 2020 from Atlanta, GA. Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. Do. Okay, I'm not gonna sing anymore. I probably blew out your eardrums and your speakers, so now you have a broken computer. Well, that's too bad for you. That's all I gotta say about that. So, AEW comes to Atlanta, GA, the home of Cody Rhodes and WCW country as well. Home of Ted Turner, and TNT and everything else. So, this is the pre-ultimate edition of AEW. We got this Thursday night. We got the Go Home show from Kansas City, Missouri. As we on the road to AEW Revolution next Saturday night, Chicago, Illinois. And it was a good show, a very good show. Another great show from AEW. Once again, the rating showed for it. AEW is trying to break 900,000. They done it a couple of times. Like the highest they got was 965,000. That was on the New Year's 2020 edition of AEW Dynamite. Said 965,000. They've gone from like 800,000, 915,000. They've been around the 800, 900,000 mark. They haven't broke 1 million since they debuted last year. So, I don't know if they ever break 1 million, unless they get Matt Hardy. They get a big time star. I think they'll stay under 1 million views, and they're gonna continue to beat NXT, and they beat NXT again this week with a viewership of 893,000 viewers to NXT's 794,000. So it wasn't really a big margin of viewers that they won by. Won by about 99,000 views. And it's up from last week, where AEW did 817,000 to NXT's 757,000. So NXT went up a little, about 40,000 views, and AEW went up about little over 80,000 views. You know, under about 75 to 80,000 views. So it was pretty good. You know, they had a Democratic debate last night, so that really killed the second hour of the show. Really the first hour of the show, not the second hour. Really the first hour of the show was just, you know, people were watching Bernie Sanders and Mike Bloomberg go at it tooth and nail. Nobody really gives two shits. Anybody who wins that is gonna get destroyed by Trump. If it's Bernie, it might be a race, but if it's Bloomberg, I don't give two shits. I really don't. Trump's gonna get reelected no matter what anybody says. No matter who it is. If it's Biden, he's gonna get destroyed. If it's Bloomberg, he's gonna get destroyed. If it's Bernie, might be a race. Other than that, I don't give two shits who wins. I don't care if it's Elizabeth Warren. I don't care if it's whoever else is on that Pete Buttigieg guy. I don't give two shits. Trump is going to win the election. Deal with it, America. It's about 6 months away from Trump getting reelected. And you're gonna cry and bitch for the next 4 years. Going into 2024. You're gonna cry and bitch for the next 3.5 years. So get used to it. Actually, I want Bernie to win because he'll give free Medicaid to all. This guy. But so get out of my doldrum of medical bills. I can go back on Medicaid and not have to deal with Metro Plus or anything else that I'm on. It's really a pain in the ass to be on. The bills are piling up, but I'm starting to work them out. It's gonna take me a long time to get over that, but that's all I gotta say about that. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna say right now for that. But let's get into AEW Dynamite. Let's not waste any more of your precious time that I already wasted talking bullshit, as I usually do. So, like I said, on the show, we had the Steel Cage with Cody Rhodes and Wardlow. If Cody wins, he goes to Revolution and faces MJF. So we'll see what happens with that. We also had the tag team belts being defended by Adam Page and Kenny Omega taking on the Lucha Brothers. Pentagon Jr., the man who has Zero, and his brother Rey Fenix. And we also had, which starts the show off, with the number one contenders tag team battle royale. Winner faces Kenny and Adam Page at Revolution for the tag team belts. We'll see who wins this. We had the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, SCU, Scorpio Sky, and Frankie Kazarian. Strong Hearts of CIMA and the other guy. I think it's Tajima, Takahashi, I don't know. Who cares? They're both Japanese. That way. We had the Best Friends, Trent and Chucky T. Dark Order of Anthony Green and John Silver. We had Private Party, and we had the Butcher and the Blade, Santana Ortiz of LAX, the Hybrid Theory 2 and Helico and Jack Evans, and Jurassic Express of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. And the only way to win is have both members of the team out. That's the only way to win. Both members have to be eliminated for their team to be eliminated all. So everybody's outside the ring, getting ready for the match. Then the bell rings, everybody starts brawling, and then Scorpio Sky and Kaz hit high cross bodies, wiping out everybody. Evans tries to do the same, but he gets caught, and then he's like Jesus being crucified and gets thrown out. And then T-Hawk gets tossed by Private Party. And then the Dark Order come in, they attack SCU. And then SCU got the advantage. And then the Dark Order higher up is the guy who's usually was on the videos, Anthony Green, and talking to John Silver. He was in the crowd with Dark Uno, and he's saying the Exalted One is near. He's like, and they were like, where's Daniels? Why isn't he out here? And which allowed SCU to get eliminated. And the Dark Order gets eliminated, and then SCU brawls with the Dark Order to the back. And we see Raven in the audience, though they didn't mention him. But we saw Raven. What about Raven? What about me? What about Raven? Why can't I be on TV? He looks old and got a gut. It is what it is. He's doing various ECW reunion type cons and stuff like that. We get that. So anyway, they get eliminated. They brawl to the back. Santana Ortiz are chilling on the floor. CIMA runs wild on Trent as Santana Ortiz finally attack them. Luchasaurus dumps CIMA out. and then Jurassic Express took control until the bunny, Allie, distracts Jungle Boy, which allowed the Butcher and the Blade to attack. And then the Dark Order gives Seema a mask, and maybe Seema is the next member of the Dark Order? We don't know. Just took the mask and left. I don't know. Let's see what happens with that. Then Nick Jackson ran amok, kneeing everybody in the face till he got dumped to the outside. And then after that, Marquine was dumped to the outside, and Cassidy, as Private Party, was done. Luchasaurus dumps Angelico, and then the Highway 32 is eliminated. Jungle Boy gets tossed, and then it took 4 guys to eliminate Luchasaurus. And then it was down to Matt Jackson, the best friends, and Santana and Ortiz. Santana and Ortiz isolate Matt as the best friends make the save. And then Matt Jackson and... well, they go for the hug, and then that gets stopped by Santana and Ortiz. And Chucky T gets thrown out by the Butcher. Orange Cassidy gets Trent on his shoulders to save him and get back in. That was pretty nice. Falls out with a DDT, dumps Blade, and he and Matt work together as Butcher, Santana, and Ortiz attack him. And then Trent and Matt hit super kicks. Then they do the hug. Act like it's Okada or everything. Butcher cuts him off. He isolates Trent, laces some chops, and almost got dumped to the floor. Then the Butcher and Trent on the apron, they trade, and then the Bunny Lobos Orange Cassidy. And then Trent's eliminated. That was down to Matt, the Butcher, and Santana Ortiz. Matt fights for his life, hitting double Northern Lights suplexes. Sammy trips up Matt, and they hit the street sweep on Matt. Matt avoids elimination, super kicks Ortiz for the elimination. Then Sammy Guevara tries to get involved, comes off the top rope, gets super kicked right out of his boots, and he crumbled to the mat. Looked like he broke his knees. Then Matt eliminates Santana for the win. So Matt Jackson pulls it out for his team. The Young Bucks become the new. Is what I think you already knew that was going to happen. But to get the win, match was pretty decent. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. The right team won. So now at Revolution, it will be either the Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks reliving their feud, or it's going to be Kenny and Hangman Adam Page taking on the Bucks. Further this little storyline going on with Adam Page. Maybe is he going to turn? Is the Bucks going to turn and Kenny going to turn on him? Oh, so we're going to have to wait till next weekend. I think it's going to be a double turn. That's what I think. I think Page will turn. Page will stay face, and then the Bucks will win the match. They'll win the belts, and then they beat up Kenny. And then he beat up Adam Page, and Adam Page goes on amok. Then again, they could have Adam Page come out, like the Bucks will win. They congratulate, they try to hug, and then out of nowhere, Adam Page just levels one of the Young Bucks, and then everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And then that is his heel turn, and then Adam Page will start after Kenny in the next series of matches, probably after the pay-per-view. We'll get Adam Page and Kenny Omega in a storyline feud. But we'll see what happens with that. I think it might hold off on it, because if the Bucks win, I would assume that Kenny and Adam are gonna get the rematch, and then when they lose the rematch, that's when I think Adam Page is gonna turn heel. But we'll see what happens with that. But like I said, a good Battle Royale. The Bucks won, and we'll see who they face later on in the night at Revolution. And that's it. Alright, then we see Cody, Brandy, and Pharaoh, the dog, walking into the arena. Always nice to see Pharaoh. So cute. I would bite my hand off, but dogs love me. Some of them do. Alright, then we get to match number 2. Chris Statlander taking on Shauna. Chi-Chi Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Abridged, whatever you want to call it. Any Dragon Ball, you Chi-Chi's there. So, we go at it. Match was pretty decent. It was alright. We had Dr. Britt Baker, excuse me, on commentary. She brought Tony Schiavone a coffee from Starbucks. She's still jabbing at Tony Schiavone, man. I would hate to be Schiavone getting just grilled every week just for working at freaking Starbucks. Jeez. I think Tony Schiavone's gonna leave AEW pretty soon for all this bullying that he's been getting. Sucks to be Tony Schiavone. Tony Baloney, Tony Schiavone, or whatever you want to call him. But anyway, we start the match, they lock up, and Shawn starts working on Chris Statlander's arm. Statlander comes back, they work for position. Shawn takes control, and Statlander cartwheeled out of it into a head scissors. And then she goes to Shauna. Shauna goes back. This is a boop attack. They go back and forth. Statlander takes control, falls with some kicks and some strikes. She goes for a near fall. Shauna can cut her off with a knee strike, ground and pounds a little bit for another near fall. And then Shauna's working on Chris Statlander for a while. She locks in a Dragon Sleeper. Statlander escapes, falls with some kicks and a running knee strike. Then a powerbomb gets a near fall. Heads up top, Shauna cuts her off. Locks her in the tree of whoa! And then does the double stomp to her. Gets a cover for a near fall. Statlander counts out until Shauna plants her with a tornado DDT for a near fall. She hits a running basement dropkick for another near fall. Then it ends with Statlander firing back, counters into the Big Bang Theory for the win. So Chris Statlander, the number 2 ranked woman in the AEW Women's Division, picks up the win. Pretty competitive match. I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. But pretty good match. See where Statlander goes from here. We see her later on with Nyla Rose, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Speaking of Nyla, some highlights of her winning the belt last week from Rio, and then the backlash came after that with all these stupid idiot SJWs, these stupid idiot marks. Saying that, oh, a transgender won the belt! Giving her all types of grief, and then Dustin Rhodes had to come out and shut everybody up, and then freaking Al Venus comes out and spews his venom, and he got put in his place by a bunch of people. But it is what it is. So we get that. So then we get to Nyla talking to Tony Schiavone. He congratulates on the win. And then Nyla's like, is this the reception that you give a champion? So she says the fans sound like annoying little bees. She says her title win was justice, as she should have been the first champion in the first place, which I kind of agree with. They gave it a real spite, thanks to Kenny. And the highest paid woman on the roster, and be on all the posters and stuff. Wayne made her hungry, and when she gets hungry, she breaks bitches. And she broke Rio. She represents power, and you can say what you're gonna say. She's the queen bee around here. She says she's gonna be a one-time champion since no one can beat her, and no one is a beast like her. And then Chris Statlander comes out, does the pointing thing, and he points at the belt. She wants her shot. And then all of a sudden, Big Swole comes out. I'm Big Swole, look at me. I'm smart, I'm big and powerful. Like, what the fuck is Big Swole doing out there? No apparent reason. And she wants the belt too. So maybe we're gonna get a triple threat match at Revolution for the belt. Big Swole taking on Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose is gonna retain that belt. There's no way she's gonna lose right after winning the belt. She's gonna hold on to it for like a year at least. So somebody somewhere comes out and beats her. It might be Chris Statlander, I think, is gonna be the first one to beat her. Eventually. Not right now, but eventually. Probably a few months down the line, she'll get the belt. And then Nyla will get a rematch, she'll probably lose that. And then after that, I think Britt Baker will win by the summertime. Or by the fall. And then who knows what's going to happen by the time 2021 comes? Who's going to win the AEW Women's Title? Oh, we know it could be Allie. I don't want to see, but we'll see what happens. But it was a strong segment from the ladies. I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. All right, then we get highlights of Jeff Cobb's debut last week as he debuted for AEW and beat up Jon Moxley near the end of the show, joining the Inner Circle with Chris Jericho as the hired gun. Stealing it from XWF with the hired gun there, AEW. The hired gun for XWF was my manager, Tristan Slater. But that's all good and dandy for that one. But it is what it is. All right, then we get the Jon Moxley on Jeff Cobb. At Taz on commentary. Taz asleep. Then we see Chris Jericho come out and he has a ticket. I got a ticket. And Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager are with him. They sit at ringside, and the fans continue to sing Judas to him. You know, they could sing something different, but they should sing Enemy. That's what I think. That's one of my favorite songs by Fozzy. Not to say Judas is a bad song, but I think Enemy is a much better song for him. But that was years ago when he was doing that song for TNA back then. So anyway, we get to the match. Match was decent. It wasn't great. Starts with Cobb attacking with some suplexes and then chopping at the bell. And takes Moxley to the floor, falls him out. Moxley battles back, hits a plancha. Go back in. Cobb cuts him off. Some ground and pound for a little bit. Moxley fires back. Cobb sends him back to the floor again. Fouls him out. Sends him to the ring apron and then the barricade. Then Jericho takes a cheap shot as the referee was distracted by Jeff Cobb. Then he rips off Moxley's rib bandages. It looked like Moxley had some rib damage from last week. That attack, selling the attack from last week. We go to break. Moxley fires back as we come back and attacks the knee of Jeff Cobb. Starts breaking the big man down. Sends Jeff Cobb's knee into the ring post a bunch of times. But Cobb bounces back with a sidewinder slam. Pulls Moxley up at 2 to do more damage. Pulls in a heel hook, but Cobb makes the ropes. Moxley up top flies to the floor. Cobb catches him into an overhead belly-to-belly. Ow. They go back in. Cobb hits a running power slam for a near fall. And then Moxley comes back, raking the eyes. Falls with a flying knee trembler. Cobb comes back with a German suplex. Moxley pops up into a lariat. That was a pretty intense sequence. Then they go back and forth, and then Cobb hits a super kick. A lariat and a running uppercut levels Moxley to the ground. He goes up top and hits a delayed vertical superplex, but Moxley holds on into a cradle for the win. So Moxley gets the win. And Jeff Cobb was kind of surprised at that, but still put on a good showing. Match I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars. Afterwards, Jericho and company come in. They attack Moxley. Dustin Rhodes comes out, fights him off, and he fights with Jake Hager, setting up their match for Revolution. And then the numbers game got to both of them. And then the lights go out. Sabu comes out. No. Darby Allin comes back from his little injury to his throat. And those creepy promos he did the last 2 weeks. He comes out, rides down the ramp on his skateboard, then he gets in, starts beating everybody up with the skateboard. Then Dustin takes out Jake Hager. Darby takes out Sammy Guevara. It's down to Moxley and Jericho coming face to face. They brawl for a little bit, and then Jericho takes a powder, and then he heads to the back. So it was pretty good. Probably do a trios match next week with Jericho, Sammy Guevara, maybe Jake Hager make debuts in action. I don't know. They'll put maybe Santana and Ortiz in there. They'll put Jeff Cobb in there, I should say. So it'll probably be Jericho, Jeff Cobb, and Sammy Guevara taking on Dustin, Darby Allin, and Jon Moxley. That's will probably be one of the main events next week. on the program, and we'll see what happens with that as we move on from there. So like I said, 3.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to your match of the night for the tag team belts. Kenny Omega and Adam Page defending against Pentagon Jr., the man with Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix for the belts. Very good match. Also with Adam Page and Rey Fenix. Fenix attacks for some strikes. Adam Page comes back. Kenny comes in, they double team. Rey Fenix, they hit a Katuno Crusher for a near fall. Kenny falls with a backbreaker for a near fall. So they really isolate Fenix for a while, but Fenix fires back, is dropped. Page hits a bridging slam. Pentagon makes the save. And Kenny dumps him. Then he hit "You Can't Escape" combination. Also a near fall. Fenix rakes the eyes, hits a super kick. And Pentagon joins in as the challengers take control. They double team on Kenny. They isolate him for a little bit. Ground and pound action. As we go to break, come back, Kenny fights for his life against both men. He dumps Rey Fenix and then DDTs Pentagon out of his boots. Tags in Adam Page, he runs wild with some cowboy shit. Kicks Fenix to the floor, falls with a plancha. And then a sliding lariat gets a near fall on Pentagon. Kenny comes back in, Pentagon fires back. But the champions take control until Fenix hits a diamond cutter. And then Pentagon hits a Canadian Destroyer. Everybody's down in the ring. Pentagon and Kenny go to the apron. They trade strikes. Fenix hits the rope walk kick on Kenny. Kenny fights off Pentagon. Hits an over the ropes Hurricanrana by Kenny fights off Pentagon. Then Rey Fenix hits an over the ropes Hurricanrana. Page falls with a top rope moonsault to the floor, knocking everybody out. The crowd goes nuts. Go back in. Page hits a lariat for a near fall. Pentagon makes a comeback. Hits Sling Blade and then a missile dropkick from Rey Fenix. Page hits a pop-up powerbomb as Kenny hit the V-trigger. And then Page accidentally takes out Kenny with the buckshot lariat. And Phoenix hits a tornado dive. And then the penta driver on Kenny. Kenny comes back, hits a Snapdragon suplex and a V-trigger. And then Tiger Driver 98 for a near fall on Phoenix. Goes for a one-winged angel. Phoenix counts out of it. Page hits the buckshot lariat, and Kenny hits the V-trigger combination on Rey Fenix to pick up the win and retain the belts. So, match was pretty good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Little slow pace. It was very slow paced. Excuse me. Said it 5 times fast. And to start off the show, but it got better near the end. And right team won. And probably one of the best matches on TV so far from AEW in the tag team division. I think one of the best matches on the one of not the best, but one of the best tag team matches on AEW TV in the first few months of their TV run on TNT. It was a good match. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and we'll see what happens with the Young Bucks and Kenny and Page as we go into next week. Speaking of the Bucks, they come out to celebrate and they'll stare down a little bit. They have some tension. Page is like, "I'm out of here." Goes to the outside, starts drinking some beer. He's thirsty. And so we'll see what happens next week on the program with the Bucks and Adam Page and Kenny Omega as we go into the Go Home show in Kansas City. Kenny's going to take on Pac. We'll see if anything happens during or after the match with the Bucks and Page. Or it might be a backstage segment. It might not even do anything. Who knows? So that's that. See what happens with that, and we move on. All right, then they announced that later this year we're gonna have AEW action figures. That should be exciting to get. So there's your Christmas gift for all you people, or early Christmas present from AEW to all the fans out there. I might actually get some figures, depending on how much they are. Knowing then they'll probably be like $80 for stinging action figures that's like this big. You know. Unlike the old days when you had the WWF action figures. I had the Ring. I had different sets of figures. I had Hogan. I had JYD, Junkyard Dog. I had Roddy Piper. I had Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. I had Big John Studd. I had almost everybody. I had Killer Bees. I had Strike Force. I had almost all the figures back in the day. Such a big WWF fan back in the day. I'd say I'm still a WWE fan, but I watch the product. I'm not a big fan of it though. I'm more into AEW because it's really the real alternative right now. But them coming out with AEW action figures is going to be pretty damn. And then we'll probably see videos on YouTube of people playing with their dolls. You know what I'm talking about. They have no better lives. You know, Grimm is going to get the toys. Playing with himself and play with his toys again. Like a 30-year-old guy playing with his toys. He gets a lot of subs, whatever. I don't give two shits. Still clickbaits more than that other guy. But I digress. Alright, then next week on the program we got Pac versus Kenny Omega in a 30-minute Iron Man match. We'll take up half the show. Then we got the Best Friends taking on the Butcher and the Blade. Doing their little storyline. So we'll see what happens with that. So next week should be pretty decent. We got Jericho and Moxley. We'll see what happens with that. There might be a trios match involved with that. And that's that. Alright, then we get to the end of the night. We got a video package showing us how we got to the cage match. The 10 lashes a couple weeks ago. And then we see Cody accepting the stipulations from MJF. You know, MJF talking about the stipulations, blah, blah, blah. We got all that. And then we bring down the cage. The cage was, like, huge. It almost looked like a Hell in a Cell. Like a smaller version of Hell in a Cell. It was, like, freaking huge. It didn't look 15 feet in the air. It looked like 20 feet in the air. Anyway, we get to the match. Cody versus Wardlow in a cage. And the only way to win is by pinfall or submission, so no escape. You can't escape the cage. But, match was pretty decent. It was alright. We had MJF at ringside with Wardlow, of course. Arn Anderson and Brandi looking hot at ringside. We start off with Cody attacking Wardlow, but Wardlow shakes it off. Cody follows with an uppercut. Wardlow fires back. Cody hits a disaster kick, follows with some strikes. And then Wardlow comes back, and he tosses Cody into the cage. He's the boost to Cody, slams into the cage again, powerbombs him into the cage. Ow. Then he follows him some kicks and some strikes, crushes Cody between the cage and the apron, as we see Cody is busted wide open. As we all knew that he was going to be in this match. You knew there was going to be blood in this match. So, Wardlow hits a dump suplex and then another one. Cody comes back into a suplex, hits the Cody cutter, follows with some strikes, and Wardlow hits him right in the nuts! Then hits the F10, not the F5, the F10. It looks much more better. It'd be nice to see Wardlow against Brock Lesnar battle all the F5s. That'd be an interesting match if Brock ever came to AEW, but it's not. You never know. Hits the F10, grinds Cody's face on the cage, busting him open a little bit more. Slams Cody into the door, and it opens, and MJF tells Arn Anderson to hit him with the door, but Arn slams the door in MJF's face. Cody comes back, runs Wardlow into the cage, follows with a slap slam for a near fall. Goes to the ropes, Wardlow cuts him off, and press slams Cody into the cage. Wardlow goes on top, hits a swanton bomb for a near fall. Then MJF gives Wardlow the ring. He was about to use it on Cody, but Cody hits a low blow into the nuts of Wardlow. He steals the ring, and MJF was trying to climb the cage. Brandi stopped it with a chair shot. Then they start arguing, and Arn Anderson dumps MJF into the crowd. You can see him after that. Cody then punches Wardlow with the ring, And then he hits Crossroads with just a near fall. He starts going berserk. Again, going Nick Cage again. Nick Gage, not Nick Cage. Nick Gage. And climbs the cage all the way to the top of the cage, 20 some odd feet in the air. Hits a big time moonsault. And he gets the win off of that. So Cody gets the win. He will face MJF at Revolution, which you all knew was going to happen anyway. But still, a pretty good cage match. I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a big, long cage match of about 11 minutes and change. And, like I said, Cody battled through hell and back to get the win. Bloodied himself up. What are you going to do? You know there was going to be blood in this match. And now he gets his chance at revenge at Revolution against MJF. I don't think he's going to get revenge. I think MJF is going to win the match by some chicanery. I think it's going to be some chicanery in the match. I don't know if Cody's going to bleed in this match again. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he does get busted open in this match. But I think MJF is going to win this little feud between him and Cody, and Cody's going to just go back to running AEW and probably won't be seen again on TV for a while. But we never know. They might give it to Cody, but I'm thinking MJF is going to pick up the win. But that's all I got to say about that. So that's it for AEW Dynamite this week. And was another good show. A little bit better than last week, so I gave it 8.25 out of 10 stars. Another great episode, one of probably the best episodes of AEW so far in the last 4 months of TV time. So next week we got the Go Home show from Kansas City, Missouri. We got Pac versus Kenny in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Should be a pretty good match. I think it'll be the show stealer. We have Butcher and the Blade taking on the Best Friends. Should be a decent tag match. We'll see if it happens with Jericho and the Inner Circle and Moxley and Jeff Cobb. See if there's a 6-man tag team match out of that with Dustin Rhodes and Darby Allin. See what happens with that. We'll see what happens with Adam Page and Kenny Omega and the Bucks. We'll see the Bucks get involved either after the match with Kenny and Pac, or sometime during the night. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with Nyla Rose, Chris Statlander, and Big Swole. They'll probably be announced for a triple threat women's title match at Revolution. We'll see what happens with that. And that's pretty much it for AEW Dynamite this week. So once again, 8.25 out of 10 stars for the show. It was pretty damn good. And the ratings once again go in AEW's favor. I think this is their 16th win, 15th or 16th win, coming, and only 2 losses. That was during November and December when AEW wasn't on TV that 1 week, and that was that Christmas edition where AEW was on TV. We get that, and then there was one in November, I think, when AEW just put on a stinker of a show, and that was it. But over the last month or so, AEW has been kicking some ass in the first 2 months of 2020. Got a long way to go. Still got about 9 more months of this year. And we'll see what happens with AEW over the next few weeks. We got Revolution next week, and then they're going to start building to Double or Nothing 2 in May. Next couple weeks after that. They're going to be in Philadelphia. They're going to be in Utah, Jersey. I think somewhere in the middle end of March. So we got that. And they'll be in Boston I think in May. So that should be good for all you people that live in Boston, like Joe Cronin and everybody, probably going to AEW. But we'll see what happens with that. I would love to go to the Newark, New Jersey show, but it's sold out. At least I think it's sold out. I would go, but, I have to take the train, and it's going to be a pain in the ass getting there and back. We won't be back till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. with the trains, especially getting out like 11, maybe 12 o'clock, and you have to run for the run for the last train. And you have to get a bus. The buses don't really run late at night over there in my country, in my neck of the woods. So you have to take a cab. It's a long, not a pricey cab, but you know, $15-20, not bad. But you could always Uber it. I don't have to pay that much. I bet $10-12 at most. But it is what it is. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna skip out on this show. Maybe I'll go to the next one. Maybe later in the year if they come back to the New York, New Jersey area. But they probably won't be in New York City at all, which sucks. I have to travel all the way to Jersey just to see the show at the Prudential Center, home of those crappy Devils. So, and they could sell out that arena in like 5 minutes. So, because New York's a big market, and like everybody is gonna come from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philadelphia, you know, points north and south of Newark and north of Newark. But, so that's it for that. So that's it for my review. Thank you for watching. 8.5, it's gonna be 8.25 out of 10 stars for that, for the show. And we'll see what happens next week on AEW Dynamite. And that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you for watching this video. I got my NXT review coming up tomorrow. I'm actually watching NXT right now. Catch up. Missed it last night. I fell asleep doing I fell asleep doing AEW, but I caught the ending, so I had to rewatch everything tonight. Didn't watch NXT because I missed it. And then I was watching the Democratic debate, watching Bernie Sanders kick everybody's ass, and then just berating Bloomberg out of everything. That's all I gotta say about that. But that's what I gotta say. That's it. So leave me your questions down below. Send me your questions down below, or hit me up via Facebook or Twitter. My Twitter link is down below in the comments the description box below, as well as my other channels, which you can subscribe to down below. Check out my Raw review on the Killer Demon 669 channel. Link is in the description box. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Put your questions down there too. You want to put it there, or you want to put it here, or you want to send me a DM or a Facebook message, or a tweet, or whatever you want. But leave me your questions down below. We'll get to a Q&A when dogs fly, or whenever we can. Hopefully this year, but we'll see. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching this video. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. Weekend is here. Got some preseason baseball on Saturday afternoon. The Mets play the Marlins. So we'll get our first glimpse of Jacob deGrom and maybe Noah Syndergaard in those split squad games. Or we'll have Syndergaard pitch on Sunday on SNY. I don't get that channel, but I'll probably I might check out the game on Sunday before I go out on SNY.TV online. I'll probably watch it online, or I might be watching XFL Week 3. I don't know what I'm gonna do Sunday. Saturday, definitely gonna be watching the game on Channel 11. So get my first glimpse of baseball. Goes my MLB reviews coming up in a couple weeks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just hoping to get the book. And if not, like I did last year, I'll just go by what the newspaper says, because they usually give you like a 40-page booklet right before the season starts. It give you every team, every division. They give you the Mets, and if you're in the local New York, New Jersey area, they give you the Mets and Yankee schedules. So you can keep up to date with the Mets and everybody on like Channel 11 and SNY and ESPN and Fox, or whatever they may be. But hopefully I can get my yearly yearbook It's usually in stores. I gotta actually check the store on one of my off days to see if it's there or not. I can get it. Usually about eight to $10. But if not, maybe next year I'll order it 2 months in advance online, and maybe get a yearly subscription so I get it every year, so I don't have to go to the store and see if they have it, and they don't have it. My store probably won't have it, which sucks. We still have the football edition from last season. Still have it there, and only I bought it. Still like 15 of them left. 15 to 20 of them left. So if you want to read last year's football yearbook, go ahead and do that at your local retail store. But that's all I gotta say about that. So baseball is here. NCAA tournaments coming up in a couple weeks. Got that. WrestleMania is coming up. The Elimination Chamber is coming up. Next week's gonna be a big week of action. We got Raw. We got AEW. We got NXT. We got Super Showdown 3. SmackDown. Night after. It's gonna be a big week next week. Then AEW Revolution next Saturday. So a big week next week. So I'm gonna try to get a lot of videos up this weekend and early next week if I can, with my predictions for Super Showdown and AEW. I'll do my review of Super Showdown hopefully next Thursday after the show takes place. So Thursday afternoon, Thursday night, if hopefully I'm off. Which technically I'm off this coming Thursday, but now that lost a worker, so I might be getting more hours again. So I might be taking his hours. I don't know what's gonna happen. So we'll see what happens with that. And more money that you wish you had, by the way. So we'll see what happens with that. If I can get the review up on Thursday, if not Friday, then I'll give you my AEW predictions on episode 162 coming up next Friday. Then AEW Revolution next Saturday. Might do my review next Saturday, if not next Sunday, with my AEW Revolution review. And anything else in the world of professional sports comes your way. I know JBL is likely to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'll talk about that early next week or maybe the week after. All the slots appearing on SmackDown tomorrow. Hype their show and their induction to the Hall of Fame, which I still don't think they should be in the Hall of Fame. The British Bulldog might be going in this year. That's nice and dandy, but it's like 15 years too late. So we got that. We'll see what happens with that. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Go to bed, everybody. It's already 1:30 in the morning here in the Northeast, so I'm gonna be going to bed in a little bit. So I got work tomorrow, a couple hours, and then I got the nice weekend off, like a nice day, day and a half, 2 days off. I go back Monday morning and Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday night. I hopefully get off Thursday and Friday. Back in for a long day next Saturday. So it is what it is. But money you wish you had. I always say, you wish you had the money I made. That's all I gotta say about that. So that's it. Watching. Check out my Raw review in the description box below. Find me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Share this video all over the internet. Tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload, so you don't miss out. Because if you do, you miss out on a lot. And that's all I gotta say about that. So thank you for watching. Good night, everybody. I'm out. Peace, bitches!